Friends, it is my distinct honor to introduce Rabbi Captain Scott Klein. Captain Klein serves as a chaplain within the 82nd Airborne Division and the garrison rabbi on the U.S. Army's largest installation by population at Fort Liberty, North Carolina, or Fort Bragg. We're not going to debate about it. He has been deployed across multiple theaters of operation, both as military police and a public affairs officer. He's received many honors and awards, both from the military and also in terms of his civil engagement. In his hometown in Skokie, Illinois, he served as the chairman of the Village of Skokie's Economic Development Commission. But what I want to tell you today, before we hear from Rabbi Klein, is that what really says the most to me about who he is how we know him at the Academy for Jewish Religion, which is by his Hebrew name, Shalom. It speaks to the way that he is a connector. He connects people. He's the glue that holds community together. And whoever you are and in whatever context you meet Rabbi Klein, his question always seems to be, how can I help you? That is his orientation to service in all areas of his life. And so I had the answer for him to that question, which was, you can come help me be honored as a new rabbi by speaking to Bethel congregation. And thank you so much for being here, Rabbi Klein.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for welcoming me here. I did note that the blessings that were given to Rabbi Posner, including the short sermons, did not apply to me. I also did note that this is a double Torah portion. Does that give me double the amount of time? No. Absolutely. It really is a distinct honor to stand before you today, not only as a fellow member of the Jewish community, but also as a representative of a unique and enduring tradition in the United States Army, that of the chaplain. As we delve into the timely wisdom of this week's Torah portion of Tazria-Metzorah, focusing on isolation, community, and return, I want to weave in a little bit of this remarkable 250-year history of military chaplaincy in our nation. In my own quite humbling experience as one of the 12, yes, that's correct, only 12 active duty Jewish chaplains currently serving in the Army. So think about it. For 2.5 centuries, since the very beginning of our republic, chaplains have stood alongside our soldiers, offering spiritual guidance, a listening ear, and a beacon of hope amidst the challenges and sacrifices of military service. The tradition began in 1775 during the Revolutionary War, recognizing the fundamental human need for faith and moral support, even in the face of conflict. The story of Jewish chaplains in the U.S. Army is a powerful testament to the enduring spirit and contributions of our people to this nation. It began during the Civil War, when Rabbi Arnold Fischel bravely advocated for the right of Jewish soldiers to have a chaplain of their own faith. Before him, Jewish soldiers often had to rely on Christian chaplains, a situation that underscored the importance of having spiritual leaders who understood their specific needs and traditions. And Rabbi Fischel's tireless efforts led to the passage of legislation in 1862, which finally allowed for the appointment of Jewish chaplains. One of my heroes, and one of the early heroes of this nation, was Rabbi Jacob Frankel of Philadelphia, the first officially commissioned Jewish chaplain in the U.S. Army. Imagine the comfort and the solace he must have brought to the Jewish soldiers fighting in a deeply divided nation. offering them familiar prayers and a connection to their heritage amidst the chaos of war. His presence affirmed their identity and reminded them that their faith was valued. Over the decades, Jewish chaplains have served with distinction in every major conflict, from the trenches of World War I to the battlefields of Iraq and Afghanistan. They've been there during the moments of intense isolation. We're going to talk about that word in a few minutes, isolation. Offering spiritual guidance to those far from home and facing unimaginable circumstances. They've helped to build community within diverse military bases, fostering understanding and respect across different faith traditions. And they've been a vital part of the return journey home, helping service members grapple with their own experiences and reintegrate into civilian life. My own experience as an Army chaplain is somewhat intertwined with this deep history. To stand on the field wearing my uniform, and I just want to highlight over here, this insignia of a Jewish chaplain is that of the Luchot, our 10 Commandments, with a Star of David on the top. And it's right next to the American flag. It's a profound and humbling experience. It's a daily reminder that carry the weight of our tradition, our legacy, and today's service was a beautiful, beautiful embodiment of that legacy. And it signifies that important responsibility to carry and to be a leader, a spiritual leader for Jewish soldiers, providing them with a connection with faith, wherever they may be stationed. One experience that I have that was especially memorable was during my deployment to Baghdad, and it remains vivid. It was during Hanukkah, and I was carrying with me my favorite menorah, something that was given to me in Jerusalem. Imagine the scene, a small group of about a dozen Jewish service members from all corners of the United States, both from Reform, Conservative, Orthodox communities, coming together as one and representing the diversity of our beautiful community, gathered with me on the top floor of the former Ba'ath Party headquarters. Just a few floors beneath us was incredibly what used to be Saddam Hussein's office. Under the vast Iraqi sky, we lit the Hanukkah candles. We lit the candles, our voices reciting the ancient blessings. Yes, there were different melodies that different people had. There were some more Sephardi accents, some clearly from the south, some clearly from the Midwest, and some clearly from the north, all coming together in a beautiful tapestry, bringing the light of our faith into a place that once represented darkness and oppression. The isolation of being in a war zone melted away as we stood together, connected by our shared heritage, a small beacon of Jewish community in unexpected places. Powerful reminder that even in the most unlikely circumstances, community and connection can flourish. This week's Torah portion, Tazria-Metzorah, and my props to all of the Torah readers, that's a tough week. It's a tough week, and it speaks of the individual separated from the community due to ritual impurity. Metzorah then details the intricate process, the process of purification and the eventual return. This journey from isolation back to community, it resonates deeply with the experience of the folks that I'm often around in uniforms like this, of soldiers. Deployment can feel like that isolation that we talked about in this week's Torah portion, a separation from the familiar comforts of home and our loved ones and our Jewish community. The return journey, while often joyous, can also be just as challenging as individuals reintegrate into that changed environment. And the Torah so beautifully in this week's Torah portion describes the pathway for the Metzorah's return. As a community, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to support those that have been separated, those that have been away, whether it's a service member or somebody in our own community that we haven't seen for a while, to bring them back into the fold, to welcome them with a warm embrace and to feel welcomed and reconnected. But this call to build community and combat isolation, I promise you, friends, it's not just for chaplains or military personnel. While my path has led me to wear this uniform in the Army, it's crucial to understand that not everyone needs to feel obligated to serve in the same way. I firmly believe that everyone should feel a sense of obligation to serve in their own community in their own unique way. The opportunities are vast and varied, and I was just reading, actually over the past week, I was looking on the Bethel website. There's many opportunities to volunteer and step up, but you might find your calling in volunteering in a local shelter. You might find the way to mentor young people in the community, advocating for social justice, contributing your professional skills to a nonprofit, or simply being a supportive and engaged member of this very congregation. Just as the intricate process of the Metzorah's return required the movement of the Kohen and the community, building a strong and resilient community, it requires that active participation, not just from the Kohen, but from every single person in the community, all of the members contributing their talents and passions. Speaking of talents and passions, I want to extend a massive, heartfelt mazel tov to my dear friends, now colleagues, Rabbi Rachel Posner and Cantor Molly May. We've been studying together for a number of years, and to see the ordination this past week, and I know you had a watch party here. I promise you, back at Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty, whatever we call it these days, I had my own watch party, and I was tuning in, and it brought me so much joy. It was such a joy to celebrate, and it's so incredible for me to be here on this important milestone. And Bethel, I just want you to know how remarkably blessed you are to have such passionate leaders joining this community. Rachel, your energy, your passion for helping. I can tell you this past week we spoke. I was traveling and we spoke, and I heard the passion. I heard the people knocking on the door. I heard about the fire drill that happened, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and you're running around and you're juggling everything, and it's just so incredible. And I'm thrilled to be just about an hour away. Rabbi Posner, Cantor May, and we got together a few months ago, and we were talking about the opportunities that we hope to have to partner together. And I am so lucky, and the Jewish community of Fort Bragg is so blessed and so eager to find opportunities to collaborate, and I hope that this will be the first of many. We believe that by coming together to strengthen the bonds of our faith and an even more vibrant Jewish experience, we can accomplish exactly what we talked about in this week's Torah portion. Now, speaking of the need for greater representation in the military, I did mention that there's only 12 of us active duty. I was thinking we really need to boost some of our numbers, and I'm feeling kind of inspired today, and I'm thinking maybe if everybody can just drop and give me 10 push-ups. No, it's okay. Just kidding, mostly. But seriously, the more Jewish voices that we have serving our country, the more we have meeting the spiritual needs of our community at large are met. Think of it, every single person is a vital connection to those that might feel otherwise isolated. And I'm privileged to serve in the role that I have as a Jewish chaplain. And I ask you to remember over the coming months, we get ready for Memorial Day in the coming weeks, and we have Labor Day and Veterans Day and so many opportunities. Remember the strength of our nation. Remember that Jews have come before us and have been a vital part of this legacy. I love being able to bridge the two worlds that are so deeply meaningful to me, and I know it is to so many of you, to be that spiritual guide, a source of support to the brave men and women who serve our country. And it connects directly, as I've said, to this week's Torah portion of Tazria-Metzorah, the recognition of the path of isolation, the vital importance of community, and the hopeful journey of return and reintegration. Let's all be inspired, re-inspired, to serve as active participants in building a more connected, a more compassionate world, both here in Durham and beyond, each in our own meaningful way. Let us also encourage and support those May God bless America. May God bless our state of Israel with the return of the hostages speedily in our days. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you again for the invitation.